Hey everybody, how you doing? Let's talk about being comfortable as you're doing this UPS PVD, and let's talk about brakes. Comfortability, you know, how you're dressed, your clothing, your shoes, everything else. Of course, all of this is going to be dictated by the location that you're at. I'm in central Iowa. The last couple days it's been 70 degrees, extremely high temperatures for the 1st of November. I've actually been running the air conditioning occasionally. If you're down in Texas or Florida, you might be wearing flip-flops and shorts. Right now, with the temperatures, I'm wearing just a very comfortable pair of tennis shoes with memory foam in them and some nice thick socks. I like thick socks. I'm just wearing jeans, a t-shirt, and then the UPS reflective vest. As the temperatures turn here in Iowa, I'll probably go to a real comfortable pair of lace-up short boots that I have, you know, for snow reasons and stuff like that. And I'll tell you, the thing that I have noticed both this year and last year, and some of you might be feeling this right now, it's amazing what muscles you use to get in and out of your vehicle. You do that, 3, 4, 5 times a day. You've been doing it up to 100 times a day now. You're feeling it some places that you didn't think you would, aren't you? With my Expedition, I'm essentially doing a one-step Stairmaster a couple hundred times a day. This 57-year-old is feeling it in the calves just a little bit, but, you know, it's nothing major. Again, since I'm in a winter state, and I know base camp you are also, my Expedition, wow, it builds heat. I'll tell you what, I can smoke and cook meat in that thing. I can just make it almost 100 degrees in there no matter what the temperature is. So what I did last year, and I anticipate doing it again this year, I have my heat set on the floor, the windshield if needed, but pretty much on the floor on low, and that just keeps my feet dry and toasty. Last year wasn't too bad. We didn't get to the bitter cold like Iowa is known for with the wind chills and everything. And I have a feeling, I hope, fingers crossed, this winter is about the same. But what I did is I wore a long sleeve t-shirt, then a small vest, flannel vest, and then the UPS vest over top of that. Didn't want a heavy, bulky coat on my arms, you know, driving in and out, maneuverability and all that. I never had to work in rain. Believe it or not, I didn't have to work in rain. That is one of the things that I could see would be just one of the horrible conditions to deal with. In that case, you know, depending on where you're at and how you're running things, you might want to carry an extra shirt, an extra pair of shoes, maybe even an extra pair of socks. I am fortunate enough to be delivering in the town that I live in, and as I've mentioned before, at no time am I more than 3 minutes away from my house. So I can run home, fill up the coffee, grab a lunch, change socks, change shoes, change a shirt, whatever. I am fortunate in that aspect. If you're not in a situation where that is possible for you, then you kind of got to plan ahead. You know, like I said, take an extra shirt, extra pair of shoes, extra pair of socks. If you're out there for 8-10 hours, think ahead, plan ahead. Breaks and lunch. Like I mentioned before, I really do not stop and take breaks. Again, due to the way that I run my route, I'm 8 miles away from the center hub and I return to that 2 or 3 times a day. So what I've done in the past and recently here this year is on those little 8-mile road trips, that's when I'll come home, grab a burger that I've already made up, or I'll stop at a convenience store and get a slice of pizza or something like that. I'll eat on the 8-mile trip back to the hub. The training modules indicated that there were drop-down menus on your time card there to indicate when you're having breaks and lunch. So far, my manager has not instructed me to do that, and I have not done that. As I said, I pretty much roll all day long, not really stopping or anything like that. And again, with my situation, I have little mini breaks where I'm just driving back and forth to the hub. For those of you in winter states, there could be some weather conditions. We did not have that again, as I said, last year. I'm in contact, and they have my number, of course. And I would imagine that here in Iowa, if we have a pretty severe weather situation, that we will get notified and probably instructed to cancel the route, you know, if it was, you know, a super bad snowstorm or something like that. And like I said, that's something that I haven't had to deal with. I would imagine that they've already got contingency plans for, and so we'll just have to see what happens there. And if something like that happens, I'll report. Like I said, also prior is my understanding is, at least at my hub, they're going to hold us to about 12 hours, no more than that. I hope I never get to that point where I have to stop. But talking to my local UPS regular driver, he is kind of afraid. He thinks that we are all just going to get absolutely slammed this holiday season coming up. And from the comments I've gotten from some of you guys have already gotten slammed. But here's the thing about that. Remember, this is a temporary job. I don't want to get into any kind of negativity here, but this is a temporary job. You're the boss. You're the king. You make the calls. You let them know what you can do, what you can't do if it gets to be a little too much. If they cut you loose, hey, you know, on them. And fortunately, so far, as I've indicated, my hub, they are just, you know, extremely happy to have us PVDs, and it sounds like from some of you it's the same. Again, this kind of job is geared toward a specific individual, someone that doesn't mind driving, someone that actually likes driving, has a good head on their shoulders, can figure things out, can run solo without somebody looking over them constantly micromanaging them. You're that person. That's why you got hired. You're the king. You make the call. All right, guys, thanks for coming along for the ride, and we'll see you next time.